Hello folks, today I'm going to show you how to get false color inside your camera. And today I'm going to focus mostly on the LUMIX S5IIX and the S5 Mark II because those are the camera I know. But you can basically do this for any camera out there that doesn't have false color. But nowadays, slowly, more cameras are rolling out false color. Currently, the only two mirrorless cameras that have false color are the LUMIX S1R Mark II, the Canon R6 Mark II, and then I think basically all the Canon cameras that have been released after the R6 Mark II has it. So that's a pretty cool feature to have. And yeah, so you can basically do this nowadays by just going around the internet and purchase a LUT, or there are many creators that have LUTs available to do that, because that is the only way you can actually have it in a camera that doesn't have any false color option internally. And if you don't want to rely on purchasing someone else's LUT or someone else's LUT that has been already created for free, there are three ways. So today I'm going to show you mostly like two ways, which one is going to be probably the most professional one, where you have knowledge already of the metrics and the numbers, and the other one is going to be a more friendly when it comes like to beginner friendly wise, and probably the easiest way. The third one, it's basically DaVinci Resolve. So I'm not going to show you how to do it in DaVinci Resolve because it's damn hectic. Like it's hectic. Like there is a lot to do. It's easy, but the functions are too much before you can get what you want to do. But there are a couple of videos out there if you want to create it by yourself in DaVinci Resolve that I will link down below so you can see it. But today I'm gonna show you basically the two versions that I'm going to basically show you. So one is basically called LUTCalc, and it basically helps you to create automatically a LUT that you can then send to your camera and use it as a false color. And the other one is from Pomfort, and that is a little bit more difficult per se to use it, just because in this one you need to know all the numbers and the metrics. There are already some preset here, as you can see, but we will go through it a little bit later. Let's start from the easiest one, the LUTCalc, right? So I have to say that I thank Glenn Reed for making me discover this, because I was looking for a false color app generator, and then I saw this video from 2020. So this is pretty old. It has been around for a while, but I've seen that it has changed quite a lot from the last time I've used it. So let's go straight into it. So before starting, you need mainly two things. So the first one, you need to download basically the original conversion LUT from Panasonic website. So the Vlog to Rec 709 conversion LUT. And this second one is not something that you really need, but I think it will be a really necessary things to have, just because you are creating a LUT, so you don't want to base the LUT on someone else's image. So you will need a screen frame. So you can just grab a screen from one of your flat Vlog videos that you have done earlier. Just grab a screen, save it on your computer where you can easily reach to it, and then later on in this video I will show you why. So now we have all of these things done. Let's go into the LUTCalc and do what we need to do. So as you can see, it is pretty simple. You have your graphics here, and then you have everything kind of in a simple way. So first thing first that you need to basically do is to change here where you see the format. So it's going to be 33 times 33 times 33, and basically here you don't really need to do much, but what you need to change is the gradient LUT. So you go onto camera, as you can see, this is mostly set for Sony cameras. So you can change it to Sony here and go to Varicam. So Varicam is basically what the Panasonic Vlog is kind of based on in the program, but we will change a couple of things to fit it to the LUMIX S5IIX. So that's it in this part here. You don't need to do anything else, but you can see that the graphic has changed, but this is still based on a Sony log format. And that's where we are going to now change the curve. And that's, you do it in this side. So you change the camera to Panasonic, and as you can see, the graphic has already changed, and still not Sony, not LUMIX output, but we will change that soon. But now basically we have to change this part because you see that it's still based on the Varicam 35. So the native ISO, it's 800. So the LUMIX S5IIX native ISO, it's half a stop lower. So what I specifically do here is to put minus 0.5 on the stop correction here. So you see already that the graphic has changed a little bit and went down, but the output gamma is still set to S-Log3. So we have to go on a LUT analyzed, or however you read it, and choose basically where you have saved your previous LUT that you downloaded from the Panasonic website. That the link will be down below. There is here. So you put it in the program, and as you can see, it's reading the LUTs title. You have to change the output gamma to the Panasonic Vlog, and then the input gamma to the Panasonic gamut, if I'm not mistaken. Where are you? Oh, Panasonic V gamut here. And then you click Analyzed. And when you click Analyzed, you can see that the curve has changed perfectly, a beautiful S curve here. And then you can see that the output gamma and output gamut here have changed too. So now you basically have everything that you need, right? But now we have to go and fix the false color, because as you can see here, there are all the things that you can fix. So we have to go to preview. Here there is already, as I was talking about earlier, a preset image already that you can use as a reference if you want to, but you can import your own image too. So you're still here, and then you just have to basically convert it to the right color space, which for me is Panasonic gamut, and then okay. And here it is. You have here all your image. Now you go down here on the left side, there is false color. So when you bring in your false color, you see on the image immediately how your changes are affecting the image. So you know your exposure while you were shooting earlier. So you will basically base this false color on that exposure that you had while you were shooting to create a false color for your camera, if you understand what I mean. So basically here we have, you see our purple, so our black points. In this moment we don't have much, but what we are going to change now is the stop below the 18% gray and the stop below the white clip, so before it clips. And the red white clip, we're going to just leave it like that and turn on the orange, so basically when it's right about to clip. And what I will set the blue, I will set it to kind of be 2.5. And as you can see, you can see already the parts that were shot below the gray point. So the optimal exposure color where you want your image to be, which is the gray. In this case, it's, you know, the green point. And then we set the yellow part to 2.8. So right before it clips, right? So as you can see, this image was properly exposed as I wanted it to be because I don't have any kind of clipping point, right? And the subject is slightly underexposed in the face, just because I wanted to save the highlights. But then in the final image, I actually brought up a little bit of the shadows, so everything is kind of properly exposed. But in this scenario here, I needed to save the sky because I just don't want to have anything blown out. So I kind of underexposed a little bit the face, but you can see that there are still some parts of the face that are properly exposed. So you want to basically have this, to have your subject in that kind of green space, color space, or green color, because that is basically what is showing the 18 mid-gray. And that's mostly like where especially darker skin sits on, and Caucasian skin will be more on this. So basically the one that you see kind of one stop over, but Caucasian skin can still sit in that 18 mid-gray. But personally, when I'm exposing for the white skin or from the Caucasian skin, I rather go with that mid-gray over kind of exposure, one stop more, especially if I have two people who have like darker skin and a lighter skin. I will expose in that way, especially because of, you know, the light situation. A darker skin needs more light and a white skin needs less light, right? So we can have a video on that specific thematic if you want to, but in any case, this is pretty much it. You can basically check your LUT and everything by going to, where it is, well, you can hide the preview or like just continue. I think it was in settings, cancel, here. So down here you can see basically the vector scope or the waveform. So you can see basically here the waveforms to see that how the image is kind of looking into a waveform perspective. And then there is here, you can basically see other things. So here you can basically see the grayscale. So this is probably, many people will say that it's a bit too much, the dark point, but you can adjust it if you want. You can go like some stops up or some stops down. That's completely up to you. You are generating a LUT that is going to work for you, and you can always like go back and see how things are kind of behaving too through the image, right? So this is mostly like how I like it, and yeah, that's how I like it. You don't need to specifically do that. You can create kind of based on your own liking and your own. So yeah, after that, basically you can go and call this LUT however you want to call it. I will call it false color boa. And yeah, after that you can basically generate the LUT. Do you want to download? Allowed. Here you see the VLT. So basically what you have to do is to now insert your SD card. There are two ways that you can do that. Or you insert your SD card and connect your SD card then to the camera, and then do the whole process of like importing the LUT as you would normally do. Or you do it through your phone and through the LUMIX Lab app. and use like the real-time LUT and everything. And I don't think I really need to show you those processes. If you really want to know those processes, I can do a second video about it to show you how to import LUT into the system. But I think the real-time LUT function has been around for so long that I don't know if that's really needed. But if you want, I can still do it. It's not a big issue on that perspective. And now I'm just gonna show you from my screen here, because I'm recording on the LUMIX Lab app. So if you click the little box here, up here in the corner, we will see that there is fuzz color now, because that will bring the real-time LUT function out. So there you can go through all, you know, the LUTs that you have imported or whatever you have there saved there. And yeah, so here it is. Now you have your real-time LUT. As you can see, I'm in the green area, so I'm properly exposed. And this part here of my screen, it's like a little bit like on the fan side, because I have the light there and it's like bouncing on the wall and everything, because I didn't want to put the light straight to me, so it's just bouncing on the wall and the light casting the light on me. So that's a good technique if you want to. And yeah, that is pretty much everything. There is the other fuzz color LUT, the Pomfort fuzz color. So this one, it's a little bit more complicated, because you need to know the numbers, right? You need to know everything that you want to set. So here there are already some pre-settings, and I think for LUMIX people, for LUMIX users, probably the Sony S-Log 3 one is pretty good already for how it is exposed. Personally, what I will change is probably the middle gray here, where you see the 18 here. I will probably change it to like more like 38 here to 40 to 43, about 43. And the ending here, where you see this red casting here, I will change it to 90 to 100. And this value here, I think the rest is pretty good, doesn't matter. Maybe this one here, this is basically the one stop over. I will kind of change it to maybe 50. Yeah, that's good. And that is pretty much what I think I will use for LUMIX colors. But you can always recreate everything from the beginning. You can look like this Rec 709. It's more simple. It has just like the usual standard base ones. And this is pretty good already how they have set it up. And I think for LUMIX, it works perfectly fine for the purpose. Or you can basically just custom build your own from scratch. So these are mainly, I think, the most simple two ways. There is one that is a little bit more complicated, which is the Pomfort one, and then you have one that is a little bit more intuitive, and I think is even the better one between the two, the LUTCalc, because you get to actually visually see through an image how it actually affects your image. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking here and for listening to me blubbering. I hope this was useful. If you need anything, you need to ask me anything about this LUT or some advice and stuff like that, comment down below and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. But hey, take good care of yourself, stay blessed every day, keep grinding and keep moving forward. I'm gonna see you in the next one.